ever had one before?
Yeah.
Fifth wheel, yeah.
You had one with slides?
Yeah.
Okay. You familiar with the care of them? How to take care of them and maintain them?
Nobody's ever told me anything. I bought it used.
Well, I'll go through everything.
I used the lube on the tracks underneath. So that's all I've ever done.
Well, I'll go through every bit of it with you. I got a checklist, everything. I'm gonna go over here, and you can just check it off as we go. Whenever we're through, just sign and date it. Let
Okay.
my boss man know whenever with you. Okay. Alright. What I like to do is start outside and then work our way in.
Okay.
I'll start right here and then we'll work our way around to the other side. We got your dog hookups, your dog leashes and everything, so you can hook up your animals outside. You got your through space here, all that storage area in there. It's not heated. I thought it was, but it's not.
It's supposed to be a Four Seasons.
Well, I meant you don't have a vent that just
Oh.
comes straight down. It uses the duct itself to heat it up.
Gotcha.
Some of them you have a vent and it just blows heat in, but it's not doing. And I don't see no vent. I just see the duct itself. All right, you got a push button light right here, LED. I don't know why, but you got a bottle opener here.
Yeah.
This right here is your battery disconnect.
Right.
The only time you really turn that off is if you don't want no power coming from your batteries and feeding anywhere else in the camper, pretty much storage or something like that if you don't. And I'm not quite sure, but we got a switch here, and there's probably some LED lights somewhere that I can't see.
Is it the ones on the front?
The ones on the front.
Ones
so
up there?
switch up front. No, those are inside. That's for your awning.
These on the front.
But we do have lights. I just don't know.
That's these lights out here.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, then I'm mistaken. I thought they would just switch up there. Like I said, I do so many of these things with switches and stuff everywhere. Now that right there is your converter and inverter. You shouldn't really have to mess with that.
So it works on its own.
Mm-hmm. Time you hook up to your truck, time you hook up to your landline, or you unhook, it does everything on its own.
So the refrigerator's gonna run that'd be running all the time?
Well, if you want it to run all the time, it can.
But you don't switch that off and on? Okay.
Now, it will run the refrigerator, but remember, you got a big industrial fridge.
Yeah.
How long it'll run off them batteries, I can't really say.
Yeah.
You got two, I'm not mistaken. You got two 27s, and they're wired in, they're wired parallel. So it's keeping the refrigerator going. As it's going through here, it changes it and converts it, and then it keeps it running. And when you hook to your truck, it's not a problem because it's using your alternator on your truck to charge the batteries, and it's keeping the fridge going. Your outside fridge as well as your inside fridge.
Okay.
So, like I said, you might be able to get a day or two off of it unless you get a solar panel or something like that and add on, which I think you already have one on the roof, so you might be able to.
Yeah, they said that some of them were supposed to be already wired, so
Solar prep.
Oh, they're
solar prep.
All of them are just about pre-prepped already,
they are.
but you have to plug in, set your solar panel out to the side.
Right.
But I think this one has one on the roof. Like I said, it's gonna bear with me. I do so many of these things, I won't know till I get around there to it.
Okay.
But I believe it does. If I'm not mistaken, it does, and it's already hooked up and charging the batteries as well. Now that tool on the other side is for your slides. So that's your manual tool, so you can bring them in if something was to happen and they don't want to work. If you'll look along the side, you'll see these little black circles for the hole. If you look inside, there's a little T-handle looking thing.
Yeah.
And that's where that notch hooks into. You just slide it in there.
Right. And
crank
work your
slide.
landing gear too, right?
Yes, sir, it does. I had to look and see. Yes, it does those back there in the back, and these right here. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you can see the T-handle piece in there. So you can manually hand crank them if anything was to happen.
Right.
They don't hardly ever happen. Do you know how to work your awning?
Mash the button and it goes out.
Well, you have to hold the button on this one, and
Okay.
it comes out, and it'll come out about 8 foot. When you see the flap, that's where you need to stop.
Okay.
If you keep holding the button, it'll roll back on top of itself and tear it up.
Yeah. Okay.
The other thing is when you have it out, if it's windy, bring it in.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
if you ever gonna walk away from the camper with that out, look for it to be tore down. Wind catch it or something. It's just like a big old parachute. So if you're gonna walk away, close it up.
Yeah.
Rain, you can have the rain. You can have it out with the rain raining, and you got adjustments right here. You just push up, if I'm not mistaken, and adjust the arms, and it'll give it a pitch. But if you don't and you have it out, it does have a self-dump feature. One leg or the other will give way and dump that water, but it does have the potential to break the arms with the weight. So they recommend that if it's
Well, we've
pouring
had
rain,
one for what 4 years, and we let it blow off or nothing. We,
Okay.
you know, I know not to leave it out while I'm gone.
I'm just letting you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it's something you know, just tell me and I'll move on.
Okay.
But let's say if it's doing a lot of heavy raining and stuff, instead of leaving it out, just bring it in.
Yeah.
That way, all that weight wouldn't carry. Any questions on that? And I'll roll it out whenever we get to where we're getting ready to go in, and I'll show you how far it'll come out and everything, so you can see it, so you're happy with it. Coming up this way, it's got a outside like here. You got two 27s. Yes, you do have a solar panel already hooked up, and right there's your feed for it, right there. So it's already hooked up charging batteries, and it's telling you how much it's charging, how much it's getting from the sun and everything. Spare tire already aired up and ready to go. You have this battery and that one, and both of them run the jacks and everything inside.
Okay.
I do recommend that you check your batteries, especially if you're going to be doing a lot of camping or if it's going to be hooked up a lot, especially in the summertime, because you want to make sure that your fluid is up in the batteries over the cells and you don't warp them or it can burn up. But distilled water, and if you want to look into it, these are deep cycle interstate batteries, and see if they call for the acid packs. If they do, you can go to any automotive store and get the acid pack, add the acid pack, and just add distilled water. Just get them up over the cells. But they are maintenance batteries. So and if you're going to put it up for storage, I would recommend taking them out so you can charge them before you come back to it, then put them back in it, and you wouldn't have to hook your truck and everything to it. You can go ahead and raise it up where you need to hook it up and all that.
Okay.
Any questions on that? Oh yeah. Now whenever, like I said, whenever you hook to your truck, when you're 7-way, it's charging these batteries. When you hook to your landline, it's charging these batteries.
So you don't have to do anything about the solar. That takes care of itself.
Yes, sir. Pretty much.
You
That's
don't
all
have
you
to switch it on and off or nothing.
No. As long as you can look in there and you can see it reading and it's putting out voltage, you're good. Now you might want to get up there and clean it every now and then. You know,
Yeah.
polish it up so it can catch the sun really good. That'd be about it.
Okay.
Now this right here, for your landing gear up front, up and down, so you know.
Yeah.
And you'll see us use that when we go to hook you up.
Okay.
Recommendation. You already see a problem, don't you?
Yeah.
Get you a pool noodle, cut you a pool noodle,
I've already
and
got
tape it on there. You might hit your head, but you won't bust your head wide open.
I've split my head open many times. When I've got
I wish I could show you the scars on my head. What kind of slides did you have?
I
on
don't
your
have
truck?
this. Mine's got the ones on the bottom.
Okay. Well, this is what we call a swing tape.
Yeah.
This one has wherever you see these rails, there's a motor on each one of them rails.
Yeah.
And the way they recommend these is because what you want to do is go all the way out when you're coming out with it. I mean, hold the button, let it go all the way out non-stop. And whenever you go to bring it in, all the way in non-stop. And whenever it stops, either bring it in or out, sit there and hold it for 2 or 3 seconds. And count 1, 2, 3, and let off. Because what it is, each motor counts the revolutions, the turns, on these slides here. And what will happen is, if you stop halfway, they'll try and remember that spot, or you could get one of the motors off, and it would, cockeyed it and not come in properly. So
What do you do if you do that? If it gets crooked.
trying to run it all the way in or all the way out. Try and get it to
And hold the
straight
button.
and straight and get it to straighten out. And then hold the button. And whenever it comes all the way out, and you know it's all the way out, hold it for 2 or 3 seconds and let off. And it'll remember that spot instead of remembering it like if you went in like this far and stopped, it wasn't trying to remember that spot.
Okay.
Because then motors do have memory.
Okay.
Alright. And I believe it's this one. This one might be the only one that's like that. The rest of them I think is electric. Just like the ones you have.
Yeah.
And you can stop those wherever you need to, and it's not going to hurt nothing. So if you see something that's going to happen, like you're going to crush a door or something like that, you can stop it and fix it, and then continue on. That's the good thing about those. But this kind of here, you have to go all the way out, all the way in. Plus, if you do the same thing with those, if you're going out or anything, you have to make sure your seals are going to seal. Like if you stop halfway or something and you have to fix something, you know, make sure your seals are going to go around it.
Right.
Now your seals, yes. Now your seals right here, ain't nothing but black rubber.
Yeah.
What are they going to do if they sit out in the sun beating on them? It'll dry them out. UV rays is bad for that. So what I would recommend is getting a can of Easy Slide. If they don't have that, they have it's called RV Slide lubricant, and just coat. Spray that coating. I'd say if you're gonna go in and out with a lot, every 5th or 6th time you do that, coat it all sides. Then when you bring it in, get your rag, spray the rag, wipe down the inside of the tube because it's double-sided, and that'll help keep that rubber hydrated and it won't dry out as fast. It'll last a lot longer. You'll be able to tell it, especially in the summertime with the sun, and you've had to slide out and you go to bring it in, it goes to jump in and the rubber's trying to grab onto your slide. You spray it, you'll tell the difference. It'll be like butter, in and out, smooth and easy. Now if you're going to have it out for a long period of time and just sitting, especially in the sun, what I would recommend doing is just coating it really good. I mean, spray you a spot that wide, coat that rubber really good, bring it in, do the same thing with the rag like I told you, wipe it on the inside. And what that'll do is that'll keep it hydrated.
Okay.
That is if you're sitting for a long period of time with it out.
Yeah.
Same thing with the other slides as well. You do the same thing with them. Another thing is on your slides is you don't have slide toppers, but you do have the option for them. And I would recommend those because that keeps brush, debris, and everything off the top of your slides. Also, it would, like rainwater and everything, if it's rain and you go to bring your slides in, keeps that rainwater off the top of it. So whenever you bring your slide in, you got to take off. Any water that's sitting on top of your slide don't pour in your floor.
Yeah, ours have it. The ones we got.
We got slide toppers on, and I'm gonna put them on this one.
Well, I would recommend it, and it's 1, 2, 3. So that's
4 of them.
4 of them.
4. Well, just this side's $1,500.
Yeah.
It's $500 a piece, and that's buying them and us installing them. So, but it's a good investment because it'll help protect the top of your slide. Another thing is I'm gonna give you a piece of advice. You don't have to listen to me, suggestion, whatever. You're right here next to the beach. Go to one of these cheap beach stores, buy you a couple packs of beach balls if you're gonna do that. Whenever you go somewhere like the beach or a lake where there's a lot of wind, take a beach ball, stick up under it, blow it up. It'll hold that slide topper tight and it won't beat and slap when you're trying to relax.
Yeah.
Another thing is it keeps the rainwater rolling off. If you go somewhere where it's going to be cold and it's going to be snowing or anything like that, stick that beach ball in there, blow it up. It helps keep that snow rolling off of it. It won't weight it down, and when you go to bring your slide in, you won't catch that slide
Yeah,
topper.
our big one is bad about catching holding water. Well, we got a super slide. These small ones, they don't hold water, but the big one does.
So you take your beach ball and
Yeah,
shove it as
I've
far
thought
as you can
about
get it under there and
figuring
blow it
out.
up.
I never thought about a beach ball, but I thought about putting something under there to hold it up in the middle, but I never did.
Well, see, a beach ball, you blow it, you stick it in there, blow it up, you forget it's there, and you bring your slide in, you pop the beach ball. It's no big deal.
yeah,
$1 or $2. You ain't worried about it.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot better than tearing a $500 to $800 slide top whenever you, with it being weighted down and you catching it, bringing your slide. Like I said, you don't have to listen to me. It's just a suggestion. Right here, We got your propane. You have any questions on your slide?
No.
You good with that?
Yeah.
Okay. Right here, this is your propane. You got two 30-pound cylinders already filled up and ready to go. We're pulling off of this one right now. This right here is your indicator. Green means you got propane. It'll click over red when you're out. Now you can turn it like this. You see where the arrow's at, right? Alright, arrow's pointing on that one. That's the one we're using. But you can come down here, point it like that, and feed off of both if you want to. But my suggestion, use one at a time.
Okay.
Because if you got it turned on both of them turned on,
And it runs out, you're out.
yes, you're just completely out. You have to go ahead and take all of them out, go fill them up, and then come back. Or if you use one, it'll last you a good while. And depending on how much cooking and hot water you're using, and let's see, your furnace.
Yeah, the furnace is what sucks it up.
Yep. I can guarantee you turn that furnace on and you got it wide open, it won't be long, you'll be coming out of this thing. And furnaces work. They
Yeah.
hot. They
Yeah.
get hot quick.
Yeah.
But is there anything you need to ask me on this or
No,
anything you want to?
I got that.
All right. There's your two cylinders right there. Alright. This is the other section to you through and through. Here's that tool.
Yeah.
I'll show you. Right here. Sound good. Alright, right now we're running off the water pump. So what you got is what you would have if you went off somewhere and you didn't have power. Alright. Now this right here needs to be turned like this. And that is for your winterization. You want to winterize it, you would turn that valve and it come right here with this hose and put your antifreeze here. And then go inside and turn your water pump on. It'll suck your antifreeze up in here, and you just go to all your faucets, your toilets and everything and run them until you see pink. Do it yourself. Save you some money.
Yeah. Well, I just drain mine and blow it out.
You can do that too, but I mean, depending on where you're carrying it to and where it's going to be at.
It's in my yard.
Or then you're right there at it, so
Yeah.
ain't really no big deal. It's up to you though, but that's how you would winterize it.
Yeah. The one I got now, I just drain my hot water heater, go to the low point drains, open them up, and open every faucet in it, and step on every toilet. Release.
Let it all come out.
Yeah, look.
Well, you can do that. I mean, that's
And
one way to do it.
I pump the water out of the holding tank through the drains over there. I know I probably shouldn't do that, but
Pump the water out the holding tank.
the water, fresh water tank,
Oh, all you do is you got a freshwater drain. You just
Yeah.
open it.
I think mine might be stopped up. I've opened it and I can't get nothing out of it, so I just.
What
use
kind
the
is it? The little one that you just got a little valve on? You turn it and it's supposed to just spray
I
out.
know you turn the whole end of the pipe off. You know, it's got a plug. Like
It should pour out.
it should, but I never got anything to come out of it.
It's probably clogged with a dirt dauber or something.
That's what I was
Or either some pond scum. Another thing is, since you brought it up, since your fresh tank, don't never leave no water in it no more than 3 or 4 days. If you leave water in it more than 3 or 4 days, it'll start turning into pond scum. You know, your algae and everything, because it's just stagnant water. If you're not going to use it, open your tank, let it just dump out, and whenever you're going to use it, then fill it up.
Okay.
If you leave water in it,
Leave it empty.
Yeah.
Unless you're gonna need
if you leave water in it and you're not using it, it's just going to,
it. Yeah,
and then when
bacteria.
you try and use it, it's going to suck all that scum up in your lines and stuff and kunk up all your lines.
Been lucky, I guess.
Well, you left water in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I take and I'll put a little bit of Clorox in the
Yeah,
line and then let it
but
pump
I'm
that
sitting
in
there
it.
thinking, how long had it been sitting there before you done that?
Yeah.
It don't take but about 3 or 4 days for it to start gumming up.
Yeah.
Now,
Ours has never done that, but I
would say you'd have to put a lot of chlorine tablets and stuff in there to try and break it up.
yeah.
to make sure that it
Which
didn't
we use
utilize.
city water too, and it's already chlorinated, so it's not pumped well water or nothing like that.
Well, that probably helps.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But right here, I'm gonna lay this down. Right here's your city connection, right here, and this is for your fresh water. This is for the tank.
Okay.
your holding tank.
Okay.
So whenever you want to put water in your fresh tank, right here's where you're going to hook it up, and you keep going inside checking your gauge.
Okay. You don't have to switch a valve or anything?
No, sir.
Okay.
Now when you go to winterize it, you switch this one to here to get your antifreeze.
Okay.
And then you take this right here and you turn it up on bypass. This is for your hot water heater.
Okay.
No more having to go in there and take a, you okay?
Yeah.
Take a panel off and then reach in there and find the 2 valves and cut. You got it right here.
Right.
You just turn that switch, it cuts the water off to it.
Okay.
A lot easier.
Yeah.
Less maintenance, less hassle.
Yeah.
Now up here, this is your black tank flush.
Yeah.
That's for this bathroom. You got another one back there for the back bathroom. You know how that works?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't need to explain that to you. Alright, we'll go ahead and close this up. We'll go ahead and close up the fresh water. And this right here's your city connection. This is where you're going to have your water whenever you at the campground or at home.
Yeah.
And you know you're going to get better water pressure whenever you hook up the city connection.
Yeah.
What's the maximum PSI that you want coming in?
You know, well, your lines is rated for 150.
So we don't need to use a
I would highly
Definitely.
recommend one,
Okay.
especially if you're using city water because it shoots up and down, up and down.
Okay.
So I would highly recommend using those whenever you hook up here in between your hookup and your hose.
Yeah.
Um,
So even at home, you need that regulator.
Yeah.
and I highly recommend it. Do you have everything for a camper? All your sewer hookups
Yeah.
and everything?
Yeah.
Okay, so you don't need nothing from up front. I was gonna tell you if you did, they start at like $180 for a starter kit, and it has everything from all the stuff to put in the tanks, toilet paper, wheel chocks, you know, the line stuff, all that for like $180.
Yeah, we got all that.
Well, it's up to you. I'm just
Yeah.
letting you know what your options are. All right, put your feet, and I'll go ahead and here's your cold water. This is what kind of pressure you're going to have right here. And it keeps going really good. Well, I thought that was cold. That might be it. That feels hot. Yeah, it's getting warm. Don't that feel warm to you? That might be hot water. I may have looked at it wrong. Yeah, I believe I did.
Yeah, that should be good.
That's the cold water. So yeah, I was looking at it wrong. So here's your cold water. No, that's hot water. Thank you. That is hot. Okay, I read it wrong. Forgive me. It's been a long week. There we go. Now we get the cold water. You can tell the difference. But you seen the steam coming off of it.
Mm-hmm.
That water will get hot enough you can clutch some chickens. Alright. And you hear your water pump, and when it builds up pressure, it'll stop. This one takes a little bit longer because you go from here all the way to the back. Any questions here? Now, something I'm about to forget. Right here, you
The
do
cable
have a
hook.
light up here as well.
Yeah,
Push button. But this is your cable, and right here's your satellite. This is where you're gonna hook up whenever you're at the campgrounds or at home.
Right.
And you can feed it right through here, pop it up through here, and shut and lock your doors so nobody can't mess with anything when you're inside at night or anything. Right, any questions here? Shut this up. Ask for a key. The keys are inside, by the way.
All keyed the same, right?
I have to look at the keys and remember. Like I said, this is probably the 4th or 5th one I've done in about 2 or 3 days. This is your 50 amp hookup. It goes with you. I do recommend getting a surge protector. I don't know if you have one or if y'all even know what they are.
We've seen them, yeah.
Well, you can get ones that are south wire, but it's like a one-shot, one deal. Maybe two, if something was to happen, and then you have to throw the whole thing away. and you pay anywhere from $300 to $800 or more for these things. The ones we have, they're called Watchdog. Alright? The way these work, you hook them up, anything happens, you don't throw the whole thing away. You can actually take it apart. There's a piece you take out, you throw that piece away, and you get the other part, put it back together. You're back in business. You don't throw the whole thing away.
Okay.
So it saves you a little bit of money. And they're worth it. I mean, you can get the one where it has the app and everything on your phone. You can sit inside and see what kind of readings is going on, what's happening with your power. Or you can just get the one where you go outside and you look at it. It depends. I mean, they go up depending on what you want. And you know, the ones with the phone stuff and stuff is a little bit more.
Yeah.
The ones where you come out and you look at it and see your readings is a little bit cheaper.
Yeah.
But I do highly recommend them, especially if you're going to go to a lot of campgrounds, because they have a lot of shoddy power connections.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they blame manufacturers and everything, but the thing of it is they're just trying to skim by with money, because they just, well, you know, we had 150 spots, we're going to add 250 more, and instead of putting transformers and stuff down like they do supposed to, they just stretch their lines out and keep going. So it can burn your camper down. Low voltage and stuff is bad on your electronics. So I just want you to be safe and be cautious. Here's your hot water heater you were asking about. I do recommend, if you want to get a screen for this, go ahead and take you a picture of it with your phone, so he knows what kind of hot water heater cover you have. So you can just walk to the shelf, grab it, and give it to you. I think it's about $67 maybe for that screen piece to go over it. Keeps the wasps, dirt daubers, and everything out of it. And I would do the same thing with your furnace as well, so that they don't get in there and try and make a home as well.
You said $6 or $7?
It's somewhere around that range. Don't quote me on it, because I'm not up to date with everything they get in there. But I do know they have them. If they don't have them, they'll get it and send it to you if they have to. Right here we got your main electric switches for your element in your hot water heater. Every time you're going to pick up and go somewhere new, I recommend cutting it off. Whenever you go to put it up for storage or anything, cut it off here. That way, it don't matter how much you flip the switch inside, you're not going to cut that element on if you ain't got no hot water in here. If you ain't got no water in it, you don't want it on, because you'll burn your element up.
Okay.
Now, the way you're going to do it is you're going to turn that bypass valve off, and then you come right here, relieve that pressure. When you relieve the pressure, then you come back down here. This right here is your anode rod, and it is 1 1/16, if I'm not mistaken. If it's not that, it'll be 15/16 socket.
Yeah.
And you can take it right out. It's one of the two. I can't remember right offhand.
Yeah.
But you can just take it out, pull the rod out, lay it in there, and let the water just come out, and it'd be winterized.
Yeah.
A lot easier than trying to fight and find all the stuff to turn off and everything else in there.
Yeah.
That's why I like Forest River. Any questions on anything here?
No.
And another question I get asked, it is a
10-gallon.
10-gallon tank. 10.1 is what it says, US. Alright, so you happy with that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, now down here is for the front bathroom. Right there is your gray, right here's your black, and they should be open. Yep. And then you got another gray handle right here at this sewer connection here. And you know, you told me you know all the black first and the gray.
Yeah.
But right there is where your sewer connection is, and I don't like the spot that it's in, but because if that slides out, you can't get to it.
You get on your hands and knees like I have
Yeah,
to
and
do.
you'll get soaking wet and everything else too. Now right here, you got the cogs and everything, your teeth right here and your gears. They recommend using a dry lubricant on those.
Yeah.
They say don't put axle grease, don't use WD-40, because it's a wet and sticky and gummy. You use the dry stuff.
I use that silicone slide out spray. It's
You can, but it's still going to cause dirt and dust and stuff to stick to it.
Yeah.
And over time, it's going to gum up, and it'll cause you a problem with your teeth and stuff on your gears. See, that's why they say use the dry stuff. Was it carbon dust stuff, if I'm not mistaken?
Okay.
And you spray your teeth and your gears with that. And definitely don't put axle grease on it.
No.
Because that is one of the most stickiest, gummiest things you can get your hands on.
Yeah.
Any questions on that?
No.
And you got your stickers right here telling you where you're at. Your freshwater drain is right here, right behind that tire.
Okay.
You see, I don't know if you can see white back there.
Yeah, I see it.
Well, it says freshwater drain. That's probably. Oh. Yep, that's the freshwater drain. So it's a little valve like you've had before. You know that little small valve that you had is the same way. And the white hose that comes out next to it, that's the overflow for a fresh tank.
Okay.
So if you overfill your fresh tank when you're filling it up, it'll spray out there and let you know it's full.
Yeah.
Alright, any questions on that? Alright. Another spot for the you just stick in. And here's your other service connection stuff. This is for the backup.
Right.
And it works the same as the front. Trying to make sure it's
Is that supposed to be like that? Separating?
It's popped loose. I can fix that. Just take a screw.
That'll catch water. That won't last long.
Well, what I'm gonna do is I'll screw it back to it, and I'll go over it. I'll make sure it's sealed before y'all leave.
All right.
Any questions on that? So you're good with your sewer hookup and everything?
Yeah.
All right. All right, here on the back one, the back port light. Option for a backup camera if you want one. They have them up front. I think the cheapest one starts around $400, if I'm not mistaken. Got your steps and everything for your back door. Black tank flush for your back bathroom. Ladder for access to your roof. I do recommend getting on your roof with the changing of the seasons. Checking all your self-leveling, your non-sag and everything, and all around like your skylights and everything up there. Your front and back cap. Check them. Make sure nothing's drying out, cracking. If it is, normally you can just get you a tube of that self-leveling. Go over it. It'll sink right down in the cracks and seal it.
Yeah.
So, and maybe at the beginning of the year, end of the year, I would wash the roof and kind of put some kind of rehydrating thing on it for that rubber roof. Because all it is a rubber roof. Sun beating down on it can dry it out too. That's why I said changing the seasons, get up here and check. But if you're getting up there, walk lightly. Because there's a ladder on there and don't need it a safe roof.
Yeah.
So find them roof joists.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably get some of those small ones.
Well, I'm a big fella and me getting up there. I don't like walking on it. I have to find them joists. Just be cautious. That's all I'm gonna say. Any questions on that? This right here is your back stabilizers. All you do is extend and retract. Now you can pick the camper up maybe about this far. After that, stop it. Because you can break those jacks trying to lift the camper. It's not meant to lift it, it's just meant to stabilize it. Keep it from rocking and shaking. Any questions on that?
One button works both sides?
Yes, sir. They come up, they do like scissors. They come up, they come down. One might come down and touch, and the other one will come down. But it's stabilized. So whenever you bring them up, they both come up.
Okay, so they'll take the load together.
Yes.
If one goes down and touches first, the other one will come on down and catch up with it.
That's so if you're on any kind of uneven ground, we'll try to level it out.
Okay.
See, I thought you had a drain like that one right there, where it's a T-handle, you just dump it. But the one on this one is just like your old one. You have that valve you open and it just trickles. A small stream.
Yeah.
You want to go ahead and check your refrigerator out? Alright, yeah. And you got your hot and cold water if you want to check that. this one's supposed to be cold, that one's supposed to be hot. But
It'll take it a while to get back here.
But you got to figure they come from all the way up front, all the way back here to the back. And this is your grill right here. I'll show you the grill. I have not touched it. I don't plan on touching it because it's cast iron. And we in the South, my grandma, she coated her stuff, so she cured her stuff. She kicked me messing with cast iron, she'd tear me up. But that is cast iron, it's like a skillet.
Yeah.
Alright, and your gas line is right here for it. It's right up under it. And your connection should be right down here. Yep, right down there.
Yeah.
And you just hook it up to the grill, and you pull it out, and fire it up. And it does have a self-lighter on the knob. You just turn it until you get it to light. Any questions on anything in here? I mean, you got your cabinet spaces and everything here. You have any questions on anything here? Put the light on. You got a bottle opener too. Here.
Yeah, I see it.
I don't know, it seems like y'all getting quite a few bottle openers.
Looks like it.
This right here is your furnace exhaust right here. This is what I was talking about. You might want to take a picture of that so you can get a screen to go over that and keep the bugs and stuff out of that as well.
Okay.
For some reason, wasp and hornets and stuff, they love propane. I don't know why. That's why I'm glad most of the new units are coming with all electric fridges and stuff, because the old ones, they have the propane. Whenever you take the thing off, so I've had quite a few, even brand new ones out here on the lot. When I open them up, I'd have to drop that thing and run. It'd be a nest that big in there, all my hornets.
Yeah.
You got your TV mount here for outside. 110 right here. Park cable here. So whatever you hook up over there on that side that I showed you, your main hookup, you'll be able to get it here. Right here's your baffle and stuff for your stove, or your fan to get all the smoke and everything out. You got outside speakers to control from inside. Alright, any questions on any of that? Alright.
And the tires, they have nitrogen or air?
From the factory they do,
Yeah.
but whenever they come here, we top them off with just air,
Okay.
because that's what we have. Now, when you're leveling your camper, either you want these steps up inside, or you want to have these steps out and this door open, and make sure this door stays open. Because whenever you go to level it, these steps will move with the camper. This plate, see, that plate right there, comes up and down. And if you're leveling it and that door is shut with your steps out, here goes your door frame. It'll ain't nothing but aluminum fiberglass. So either the steps up inside or the door wide open. And you can self-level these things right here. You got a little thing right here on the back, just like a little metal rod you push, and your legs will slide up and down to adjust for your height. And what you want to do whenever you get it level, you want to try and get this plate right here, this plate, as flush with this as possible. Alright, that's pretty much everything here. I'm going to go ahead and run you on and out real quick. Show you that. Here's the switch.
Go.
Right here's the switch right here. Make sure I'm not going to get the other unit. Smell that branding on it. Right in there is where you want to stop. Because you can't keep hitting your butt. Keep on going. Right. See? Good. Good. That.
Any thread hanging on it.
No, so
What's that? Oh, your lights are on. No, that's where they can put it together in the factory and it's something that got caught on. It'll come right off. Now your arms right here to get your stuff. See right here?
Yeah.
You pull this down, kind of push that up a little bit, now give you a pitch. And this right here will come down, so you'll have the rain wheel running on. But make sure you put it back like it is right here in order to bring it in and out. Because if you try and bring it in or out with the arm pulled down, you can mess it up. Any questions on that? You can do it with either one.
You push it the other way, you pull it the other way.
Yeah, you see right here when it's pulled down to the just pitch.
Yeah.
You grab that, pull it down, and you get this right here to kind of bend. Right here, this right here is it'll pivot. Right here where that bolt's at. That's right.
You want to put back, straighten it back out.
Well, you can go either way with it. To different pitch. You can pull it this way, or you can get it to go up. Whichever way you want to go with the pitch. It's one of the things you got to kind of sit there, kind of play with it. Yeah, figure it out. And I'm too short to reach it to show you.
Yeah, I got you. I got you. I carry a little ladder with me to do things like that.
That's a good idea. Alright, we'll bring it back in. Go slow and steady.
Going up there.
Okay, is that turning them on?
Yeah, they go off. They're
Okay.
off now.
So it's this switch right here, your last switch. That's your last switch, right? That's the one that cuts that light bulb. Put it on, put it on. Different here is those accent lighting on your slide, and these are here the main, so the main lights right here. Alright, if you want to, you can come on in. Yeah, I got the AC on for you, so you can tell it is getting cold. Alright, I'll explain your panel here to you. Now you see me use the awning. This is your awning. Slide 1, slide 2, slide 3. You kind of have to figure out which one is which. But remember, whenever you go to bring that bedroom slide in, it's got to come all the way
And that's
in.
in. That's one, right?
I'm not sure. That's when we go to close everything up, we'll figure it out. Now we don't want to close that last one because I want to fix that little bit right there before you go to leave. Alright, here's your fresh tank. You got 2/3 in it right now. Battery, full. Black 1, black 2, gray 1, gray 2, and auxiliary. Now your auxiliary, if I'm not mistaken, is your sink right here. Your kitchen sink. And
So it doesn't go into grade 1 or 2?
It's the second one. It has another tank.
Has it got a separate drain on it too?
You got 1, 2, 3.
Three. Yeah. Okay. There was a drain right by the pipe too, wasn't it? A gray one.
You got a black and a gray back there, a black and a gray here, and then you have another gray
Right beside it.
Yeah, just up a little bit.
From the hookup.
Yes,
That's
and
the sink.
that's this one here, the kitchen sink. Alright, you got your water pump, which if all you're going to use is city water, you'll never turn that on. Alright, your hot water heater right here. You turn this on. If you got that switch on out there, and you're hooked up to your landline, it's going to go to electric. Alright.
So you don't have a choice between gas and electric here on the panel. Okay.
But if it don't see the power, it's going to go to gas. And whenever it goes to gas and it comes on, you'll see a DSI fault right here, where it says fault. And what's going to happen is it's going to come on to let you know it's trying to fire on propane. If it doesn't light on propane, this right here is going to stay lit. But if it comes on, stays on for a little bit, and you hear it trying to light, and then that light goes away, it means it lit on propane. Or you can just go out there and visually look at it, make sure that it lit.
Yeah.
Any questions on this?
Yeah.
And I want you to know that
I
I'm
don't know.
thinking of all of you.
I'm gonna start
during
moving
this
on,
difficult
see what else we can find.
So many people
Right here next to the door.
have been touched by this insidious disease.
You want to look right here?
But we have to hold on to the future.
This right here's your breakers. They're labeled letting you know what they're running. Then over here you got your fuses right here, and they're labeled and they're numbered, telling you what they're running, and they're telling you what fuse goes in this place.
Right.
Alright, I would recommend going from your smallest one to your biggest one. Get you a handful of them, put them in the drawer. Just call it unplugging, plugging. If you leave something on, you can pop the fuse.
Yeah.
Now, right here beside of it, you see where my finger's at? Them little squares down there?
Yeah.
That's LED lights. So when you got a bad fuse,
It'll light up.
even with this closed, right here, you'll see it lit up.
Yeah.
Now things like your awning, where it only works if you hit the button, that's the only time you'll see a light. But see, it's in a good spot because you can actually hit the button and look, and you'll see a light if it's got that.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's a two-person job because the panel's not right so close to the
We want you to know
panel here.
Shriners Hospitals for Children is here
All
for
right.
your child, providing highly specialized orthopedic, musculoskeletal, burn,
There's
and
everything
critical care,
else that we need to do is in
regardless
here.
of a family's ability to pay.
Alright, TV.
Shriners Hospitals for
Now your
Children.
TV here is one of them smart doohickey jabs, and it's got Netflix, YouTube, Google, OK Google stuff. You can talk into the remote on all kinds of mess. I'm just gonna tell you how to run the antenna and the cable. Alright, I'm gonna go here. You don't have no internet. No, we don't have no internet. We know that. Okay, where's it at? Where is it? Okay, inputs. I think that might be it. Okay, here we go. You go to inputs up here. Click on antenna and it'll go to your antenna, and like what was just playing, you can go through and see what you have to watch. Then you got HDMI 1, 2, 3, AV, and media and everything. I don't know, is it touch screen too? Or did it just go away?
I don't think so.
I don't know. With this new stuff, I don't know. It wouldn't surprise me. Alright, let's see. What's that?
Well, I know them air conditioners are working. We turn them off.
There you go, right there.
60.
Right here. Big button.
I see it, but I don't.
Right here. Just hit the button, it lights up first. There's heat. You want me to turn the heat on?
Off.
Okay, we'll turn that off then. And that's your second AC, we'll cut it off. You just hit the buttons right here and read what it's telling you.
Yeah.
You see the snowflakes, you know it's AC. Auto would be just like your home. It will come on and off and whatever temperature you set it to. And this right here is for your ceiling fan. You can cut it off here. You can come up here to the chains and pull them. I'm trying my best with this thing. That's apps. I ain't got nothing.
I can figure the TV out.
But every time you pick up and go somewhere new, you're gonna have to do
Exactly.
a channel search. Okay, there it is. Now, where did I go? Went up. Inputs. There we go.
Plenty of sunshine, and over the next 10 days we'll see rain.
And I mean, you can
Today, Tuesday.
you can see what channels and stuff you got.
So the thing with the cranking is not in this one.
No. This is all digital. It's just like a little round thing that sits on the roof.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. No,
Okay.
you don't have to do none of that.
Yeah.
Everything's done.
Turn
on
it
TV.
and try to pick up a
Yeah,
signal.
pick up and pull it down and turn.
Now, the thing of it, it's still this is a force river, so you still have the push button.
Okay.
Whenever this is your
The
antenna
amplifier.
booster.
Yeah, your booster.
This is your antenna booster. Green light means you watch an antenna. If you want to watch cable, you need to make sure that green light's off. Because if you got the green light on and you're trying to watch cable, they're just going to fight heads and nothing's going to happen. You're not going to be able to see nothing. Make sure it's on for antenna and off for cable.
Okay.
Alright, and I'm going to go ahead and give you that. That's TV remote. Alright, this right here is your fireplace. and you can change the colors of it. Green, if you turn it on green, it can sit there and go through all the colors, change whatever color. And then your fire, you can change it to orange, to blue, purple. So that's all of them combined, if I'm not mistaken. And right now we have no heat coming out of it, but you can turn the heat on. See,
You can do that without the heat.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just, you just got it looking.
Just as the ambiance.
Yeah. Right now it's just looking pretty.
Okay.
It's not doing nothing. No heat coming out.
Gave my light there.
Yeah.
There's a low. Right there. And that's high. It should kick on. No, never mind. It's blowing out pretty good. It's warming up quick too. But and the 0 0 is off.
Okay.
Now you got a timer on this as well. You can start in 30-minute increments, and I think you can go up to like 8 or 9 hours of running time. It'll stay on or cut off. And that's pretty much it with the fireplace. Now this is a safe alternative to your propane if you don't want to use your propane, or if you don't want to heat to death, you just want something to gradually warm things up.
Yeah.
That right here would be good. But the only time that's going to work is whenever you're hooked to your landline.
Yeah.
Alright.
Electric only.
Your radio. I'm going to try and explain this to you as best
We've
I
got a
can.
Jensen on ours.
Okay, well you might know more about it than me.
Has it got a DVD player in it?
Yeah.
DVD's built, DVD player and CD player is built in, and it will run through your TV. Let me see real quick. My eyes ain't what it used to be. Okay, we ain't getting nothing there. Let's find the station. Okay. I don't know how to do it with the remote, so I'm gonna come right here. Zone A's off.
Yeah, outside.
That's your outside speakers.
Yeah.
I really do want to stress to you to know which speakers is on and which ones is off. Okay? And zone A and B together, so both of us playing. Now, outside speakers is off. The only ones that's playing is these in here. Because you can hook the TV to it. All you have to do is turn on, and you'd have to go through your settings and stuff and find it for TV, and it will play the TV through the speakers here. You'll also play it through the outside speakers.
Yeah.
So you can hook your gaming system to this radio. You can hook your DVD player to it. Cell phone. You can Bluetooth your cell phone to it. You can hook a camera to it and play it through the TV, like if you take scenery pictures and things. It's just so much you can do with that. And you can actually send and receive calls through that, through the speakers in here and outside. But keep in mind what speakers you have on, which ones you have off, because if you're watching something you don't want other people knowing what you're watching, or if you're watching a good action movie or something, and you got the outside speakers on, somebody's gonna come beat on the door and want to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Same thing with your cell phone. If you got your cell phone playing music through it and you're using the speakers outside but the speakers in here is off, just for an example, not picking on you. You come in to fix you a sandwich or a drink, and you're gonna go back outside. Betty Lou down the street calls you, and Cindy Lou's outside. And you and Betty Lou start talking about Cindy Lou outside. Guess what? Everybody outside's hearing it. They're hearing the whole conversation because your phone's hooked to it.
Yeah.
So keep in mind what speakers is on and what's being done. Okay?
Gotcha.
I just want you to really stress and remember that, because I've heard so many stories of people going to campgrounds. 4 o'clock in the morning, and the speakers out there on, and they didn't know it. They were in there watching whatever,
Hitting
and
buttons.
and the speakers outside was on. They go up there beating on his door, and they were about to fight, ready to shoot each other. All right, we'll go ahead and. There we go. There's the remote for that one. All right. Any questions on any of that? And there's probably 50 more things that thing can do that I don't know about.
Yeah.
You want to put them in this drawer?
Actually, if you want to open the drawers, I think there's your package right there, and that's got all your warranty stuff from your fridge, your radio, TV, fireplace, stove, everything, microwave, all that's in there. All the warranty stuff, all your little manuals and things that go with the radio, TVs and stuff is in there as well. Alright, have you looked at your fridge?
Only briefly when
We were trying to figure out which is the freezer and which is the fridge.
Well, this is for like wine.
That's it.
So it's kind of like a chill one. Right here, if you'll notice, it's cold, but it's not really cold. You got a little bit of frost back here. This right here is your refrigerator. These are the freezers. But I think you can
Little
put the
fridge.
cold stuff over here, and that's more like the bigger ones and stuff will be like for salads and lettuce and things like that, and fruits, if I'm not mistaken. But I'm pretty sure you got a, here's your book, ice tray, and everything right here that comes with it.
Okay.
so that's not a freezer down there.
I think it's a freezer, but I'm not sure of what kind.
I believe.
Because, and here's your adjustments here. See, I just cut it off.
Yeah.
But this is a new style, and I'm not too familiar with. Because this one has got the wine rack and everything built in with it. Most of the ones I've dealt with, they got a little small refrigerator off to the side for your wine, and it's got LED lights and all kinds of stuff in it. This one right here, this is new to me. I mean, I'm not saying that I don't know how it works or anything. It's all right there, but I don't see no setting on this side. But if you'll feel, it's not really freezing in there. It's chilled, but it's not freezing.
Yeah.
So that would be, I would say that's a wine rack in that one, because it's the only one I see that's got a wood rack in it. And you got your keys right there, nice and cold.
Yeah.
That's the light on here. I'm gonna take this and pull this up. I'm gonna show you the stove right here. Alright. As for the buttons there, that one off, the two, these buttons come on, and your oven light comes on. Okay. There you turn that one on. There we go. Like that. Just turn. You can just turn it like that, not touch it, and turn it on. Now you're going, every time you pick up and go somewhere new, you'll have to come here, purge all your gas lines and everything every time you pick up and go somewhere new.
Yeah.
Alright, the oven, I'm going to use the reflection of the glass so I can see down there and see a pilot. I'm going to come right here, I'm going to turn that to sometimes you have to come on, there it goes. See, I got the pilot lit. You have to hold it a little bit, warm up that thermocouple, and then you turn it on. The oven's always the hardest one to get to light.
Yeah, and you seen it in the glass on this?
Mm-hmm. See, I'm using a reflection of the glass right here. You can see that metal square back there. At the top corner over here, closest to the burner, you'll see the pilot light here. I'll turn it back down. There you go. There's the pilot light. You can see it?
Mm-hmm. Because that's the light. To light it, you put it on there.
Yep.
Okay.
But yeah, that's how you do it. And I like using the glass because I don't like to be in my back. Now you're gonna need them keys.
You gonna need them?
Yeah. You taking it with you, ain't you?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna need them keys to lock your doors and everything. Alright. And you, as you can smell, it's brand new. You're gonna have to use it, burn off that stuff. Same with your furnace and your fireplace. Kind of use it a little bit, burn off some of that stuff, that new smell, get rid of it. Best thing, probably open up all your windows and everything on a nice cool day like today. Run every bit of it for like 30 minutes. And it should burn a lot of that stuff off. Alright, got the microwave here. You did hear your fan right here, pulling out all that smell.
Now, is there a vent or something that you're
Yeah.
supposed to open?
No,
To use?
it's open all
It's open all the time.
It's outside. You can leave it open all the time, or you can take and go right here. There's 2 little spots. You'll see them. You just push in and it snaps in and pops into place for travel. So you don't have a bunch of wind blowing in here if you don't
Oh,
want
really?
to.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But it is kind of short to get to. So
This is popped out now?
Yeah.
Is it out now?
yes,
So we got to pop it in before we go?
that's up to you. It would be recommended.
We have to get a ladder then, right?
Well, I mean, I could probably reach it standing on my toes.
Okay.
Because that's how I got it to pop open.
Okay.
With my tips of my fingers and on my toes. But you got your microwave here, all your presettings and everything, just normal microwave. I don't know, let's see. Yep, it'll let me do it. I don't want to run it for a real long time because there ain't nothing in it, but I just want you to know it works. And the dish is turning if you want to see it.
That's good.
Now, your vent for your oven, though, I want to tell you this, is right here. So that's where all the heat and everything from that oven is going to come out at. Especially in the wintertime, pay attention because this glass will warm up. This one back here won't. And whenever you go to shut it, that air, it can explode. If that's freezing cold and this is warm and you bring it over it, I had it explode in my face.
So let it cool off
So yeah, I would let everything cool off.
before
See,
you
like
cover.
right now, I can put my hand on everything. I ain't worried about anything being hot. But see, like when you get to this point, that vent's right here, and it's gonna come up, and that thing can do that. Cause this is tempered glass, it's strong glass and everything. But
So if you're cooking a chicken and you want this closed, would it work? The oven work all right with it closed?
yeah, it will be fine with it closed. Just remember your vent's here for your oven.
Yeah.
So that's where the heat's gonna come out.
Right.
But it's still going. This is still gonna warm up because you're cooking in here.
Yeah, the whole thing's warming up.
Any questions on that? All right. You see that little apparatus down there, right here? You see that green light? Green is clean. Red and screaming means get out of here. But now, I'm not going to tell you to ignore it. But if you're in here, pine saw on the floor or something, or somebody's got a lot of hairspray cologne or something they've put on, and they get around this thing, yeah, it can make it go crazy. So just be alert of what's around it. If you know that you just mopped the floor with pine sol and that thing goes crazy, then you know it could be that. I mean, I'm not telling you ignore it. Just
That's the
because,
CO2, right?
Yeah.
well,
Alright.
that is for your LP. That's propane detector.
Oh, the LP.
Now your smoke detector is up here.
Okay.
It doesn't have a carbon monoxide
Those
protection.
two.
I believe that one does both.
Okay. Yeah.
But that right there will go crazy if any oxygen or anything is took away from it and it's being smothered. It will go crazy. So, I mean, if you're cleaning with stuff on the floor or anything like that, just be cautious. I ain't saying... Now, if you know there's no reason for that thing to be going off, yes, get out of here, cut them bottles off. And then somebody come back in, open your windows and stuff, vent it out. Okay? Any questions on any of that? Your couch here, I think that folds out into a bed.
It does.
Yes.
If I'm not mistaken, I believe it does.
Yeah, we
Yes.
had it out.
If you want, okay, so you're good with that. You don't want me to pull it out for you.
We've had it out.
No, we had it out.
All right. I think it'll go right into here somewhere, but it folds out. This right here, you can take the legs off this, lay this down, rearrange these cushions on top of that table, and make it a bed as well. On top of bunk bed. How many? I don't know how many.
Yes,
beds
that-
is there.
That couch was something that we didn't. They showed a different one online than that.
Oh yes,
Right.
this you can fold out and
Yeah.
it turns into it's just like the
Like
big
for little
cushy
kids.
bed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you can turn this into a bed as well. You got a bunk bed here, a bunk bed there.
Yeah.
Did you check your water in the sink?
No.
Run the water. If you will, go ahead and run your hot and cold in the sink. Now, one thing I want to
This one doesn't lock.
No, there's no locks on it. But I was just showing him. Make
This one
sure-
should have a lock for a bathroom, right? No, it doesn't.
I would highly recommend. I know it's a brand new camper, but $2 or $3, maybe $4 or $5, some kind of strap, something that you know secure on that, and that will hold that shut and make sure it stays shut with you going down the road. Because you cannot see this door, and you can't see that door whenever all the slides are in. Now you can come in the back door to this door to see, but that would be up to you. And that would be
You
a
can't
good.
get it open.
You can't open it, but if it was to pop open, you could go back through that door and pull it shut
Okay.
to make sure it's shut.
Mm-hmm.
But
But this one you
that one
can't.
right there, you really can't see because that slide comes into that one. This one comes into.
Well, what we'll do, we'll put that slide out first, that middle slide out first, and then check the doors.
But that's something that really need to pay attention to is the doors.
Yeah,
or the slides.
we got the bunkhouse on ours. One the door opens into the room on that.
Mm-hmm. Opens in.
So if it's not closed, that slide will catch it. So I have caught it and ripped the doorknob almost off.
Okay.
So I know the deal with that. But
Well, then you're used to it. Just like I said, these two right here are your main problem
yeah,
as far as the slides, because you got these slides in here, that slide out there.
and they almost go to touching each other, don't they, when they're all the way in?
I think you might have somewhere around the neighborhood of that much room, maybe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And whenever you close these up, they recommend that you take this and hook it up here. That gives you more room, just in case something's sticking out.
Okay, it hooks on both sides. I was wondering if it. There's a handle to get up in there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't see you having a ladder, so that you'd use the shelves. And somebody my size, I'm sorry, it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
And normally they rate these things right here at 250 to 350 pounds, but
It's not for an adult.
no, but I'm still young enough. I'd get up there and try and lay down with the kids. If you want to, go ahead and check out your shower, your bathroom, and everything. Make sure all your water and everything runs and everything's working. Now remember, like I said, you're running off your water pump, and you got a long way to go with your water to get back here. It'll do a lot better with a city connection.
You don't have anything raised up and down.
No, all you do is that little.
This thing's leaking
What's that?
right there. See, it's leaking out from the back on through here. I'll let you look at it right there.
Okay.
See it?
Yeah, I see. The only thing I can really do is put some silicone on that if you want me to, because that's where it's coming down from the.
No, it's coming out from underneath the. You see where it's hooked up? Underneath.
You talking about right there?
The water is coming from underneath.
Oh, let me see.
The shower.
Okay.
The shower
valve.
part.
The valve.
I thought you was talking about this. but that's gonna run.
No,
that's
you
gonna run.
see the water's running out.
Okay. It's just, let me see. Yep. All I have to do is tighten that up.
The thing went.
Ow! That hurt. That little thing's sticking down, stabbing me. For me trying to tighten it. Okay, let's see what it does now. Oh, sorry. Well, it'd probably be better if I don't spray myself with it.
Yeah, and like
There we go. Let me get some. There we go. Does it look like it's leaking now?
no. But a little silicone won't hurt it either.
But if you want me to, whenever I go to fix this out here, because I'm going to have silicone on that,
Yeah.
I can come right here and run some
Yeah,
if you want me to.
definitely.
Because all that is where it's on this and it's following
Mm-hmm.
that route.
Yep.
I mean, if you still don't have some kind of barrier here,
Right.
it's still going to try and
Yeah,
get
we're
to
gonna
the
have to
floor.
get something put up there.
I'm sorry, that's just a bad factory design.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Alright, if you want to finish looking there, making sure your toilet and everything.
Stick it out kind of hard, isn't it? Looks like they would have put it further back.
I guess they put it right
One of-
there so you
One
could
of these
open the
must
door
be
and
the
enjoy
porch
nature.
light. One of these is the porch light or what?
Yes, sir. One's your back porch light and one is the lights in here.
Okay.
I guess they put it that far back and over so you could open the door and enjoy nature.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying the toilet could have gone back further.
Toward the wall.
It's they left enough room you could put like maybe a
shelf or
shelf.
something.
Yeah, I guess.
Now on both of your ACs you can come right here and they got these little things you can flip them and it'll just dump the AC in here. But I don't recommend doing that. Maybe for a little bit to get the heat if it's really hot, but I would shut those back because it comes through all the other vents and it spreads it throughout the camper and it brings the whole temperature of the camper down instead of just in one spot.
Right.
Yeah.
And another thing to help with the your camper cooling down is your shades. Bring them down and that'll give you about 15-20% more cooling in the camper. Any questions on anything back here?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, there's two things I found so far that we found. And I'll fix those before you go to leave. And that would be right here. You want some silicone on that.
Yes.
And I need to take my screw in and fix that little spot over there on the slide.
Yep.
All right. You don't have any questions?
You gonna caulk that too when you
Yeah.
put the
I'm
screw.
gonna.
I would take the screws out of it and let it. Try to get that buckle out of it,
Mhm.
and then put it all back. Wouldn't that work?
Well, what I was gonna do is I was gonna take it off.
The whole thing.
Yeah, and
that's
put some, well, not the whole thing, but up where I can see it. And then I'm gonna put some silicone on it, push it back down, and then screw it down. That way, that silicone's behind it, and it's gonna seal it.
Yep.
You cut them lights out.
Yeah. Well, no, we can leave this one on because I'm gonna come in here with
He's
some
gotta
silicone.
fix that.
Okay.
We'll just leave the back door unlocked, and we need to leave this slide right here open so I can get to it. The rest of them we can bring in and everything. Now your lights right here, push button in the center. I don't think there's a switch for those. I think these are push button in the center as well. Yep. And also these lights here, you can actually come up here on the ceiling, push button in the center on those, and adjust your lighting to how you want it.
Those are push button.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean,
There's a switch up here.
Oh,
You got
okay.
the
I was
main
about to
switch.
say.
No, you got the main switch up there.
Okay,
I just
yeah.
mean if you want to adjust your lighting a certain way,
Yeah.
you can go through and.
Okay, got you. There's a main switch.
Mm-hmm. It's on the panel right there.
Yeah. All right.
If you want to check out your bathroom and your master bedroom up there. have to. I don't think there's another way in there.
No, it's only one way.
Looks like is this a return?
Yes, sir.
We got a TV to stand. We'll sit on the top of this.
Okay, well, I was just letting you know just in case you did want
I'm a
to.
freak about putting holes in screws. I know.
I'm just letting you know just in case you did want to.
What
Yeah.
size is that?
Size? You talking about the bed?
Mm-hmm. Looks like a queen to me, doesn't
I
it?
believe it's a queen, but I believe it is a camper queen.
They
Camper.
call it a king in the brochure or on the website.
Well, it might be a king. It might be a camper king, or
Yeah, I think
because the camper sizes are different.
Okay. So it's got
Whenever-
something that holds it shut.
The camper size mattresses and things are different than what you would put in your house. They're different sizes. If you want to, you can go ahead and push the push button in there, turn the lights on there. You got one over your head.
Mm-hmm.
That would be where you could hook up your washing machine and dryer if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It would have to be a stackable. You also right there if
You
you
could
look,
put one of those all-in-one units in this one. Right?
if you want to, but I'm gonna recommend that you don't. Every customer I've had, and they've had one, they said they throw it out there on the asphalt and leave it.
Oh, really? So don't go that route, huh?
They said you can wash your like maybe 2 or 3 pair of shirts and pants or shorts, but as far as drying your clothes, they said you'd be better off hanging them out here on a tree. So I mean, if you're really gonna spend that money, I would recommend, a stackable washing machine and dryer. If you do that. But another thing is if you don't use that, I would recommend getting, where your hookups are right in there. I would cap them off, get caps and put on it. That way if somebody or grandkid or something come in here and, oh, what's this? And they go to playing with switches, they turn it on. You don't know it, you go turn your water pump on, or you hook up your water, and your floor in here is not going to get soaked in your whole closet.
Yeah.
That's just a safety thing. I mean, to me, I'd be feel better off doing that. Check and see if that opens.
That's USB.
Yeah, you got USB on that side, and 110's up here, and you got 110 here. This right here. Okay, no. Some of them have that thing where you can open it up in the storage. I think we have storage under here.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh,
Yeah.
you good?
I'm good.
There's your storage up under the bed. Now, whenever this slide comes in, this mattress is butted all the way up to this.
Yeah.
There's no way to get in here unless you
Yeah.
crawl across the bed.
Yeah.
And that door would have to be shut.
So when that slides in, you can't open that door. Oh.
You can
Well,
open it. You can open it to right in,
Yeah.
probably about
I
that
see.
far,
Yeah. Just
So-
just barely enough room to get in.
to look and see the slide.
Yeah.
If you squeeze, you might be able to get in. Now your vents and everything right here, you can stick 2 fingers in there and turn them and adjust them to wherever you want to. And all your vents are that way. You can stick fingers in there, turn it, and adjust it to however you want. Push button lights over your bed. You got double USB over there and 110. I don't think you have any over there, do you?
Yeah, no.
That's a drawback.
Mm-hmm.
Yours is over here. Hers is over there. Alright, any questions in here?
No.
Now this is the one for the bedroom slide. This is the one that you're going to have to all the way in, all the way out.
Good.
This one right here is right here at the bed, so you have to be here looking at it.
Good. I was hoping it wasn't in there with them other ones.
Mm-mm.
So the back ones work independent. I was thinking when I've seen only 3 slide buttons, I was saying, well, you must. Yeah, we got a Grand Design or a Momentum, and you hit. It's got a control panel, a Lippert control panel, and you hit one button and both slides go hydraulically.
Yeah, they both do, and then one goes out, then the other one goes out, like domino effect.
Yeah.
No, this one right here is just for this slide. The other ones are for the other ones, and you have to, like I said, you're gonna have to play with them and see which one does what.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
But I'm glad I can be standing here looking at that one coming in and know when it comes on.
I'm glad you said that. Most customers are like, well, can I do it with my phone? Can I do it with my phone? And they won't be nowhere near it. Closing it, opening it. Any questions on anything here?
No.
Everything seems good. You happy with everything?
Yeah. Well, this has got a switch, right, over there on the wall.
Yeah. You can adjust the lighting too in here. How you want.
Wonder if those over the bed come on with that switch.
I don't believe so. Cause see that slide is.
Yeah.
That's where you're gonna be laying.
You're right. Plus, it's not wired. The
Yeah.
slide's not wired. I didn't think about that.
All right. Any questions? And you're already pre-wired for Wi-Fi if you wanted to get that. It's in that closet right there next to that light that you seen.
Yeah.
And it's pre-wired. It's already pre-wired for it. You don't have it. You'd have to go up front. And with the way they do technology now, from week to week, there's something new. So you'd have to actually talk to them up front and see if they still have that or if they have something different that can hook up to it. But that is an option if you want it. You're already wired for it. You don't have to go pulling wires and stuff. You can just hook up right there.
So Wi-Fi extender, or is it? What, you know what he's talking about?
It's like a booster.
Okay.
For Wi-Fi.
It's a Wi-Fi booster.
Like if you're at the campground, you pay for Wi-Fi, and you're at the back of the campground, all the way at the back. What you do is you turn your stuff on. You still have to have their password and everything.
You're just
and what you're doing is you're just piggybacking off of theirs.
okay.
Once you turn yours on and you put their password and stuff in, you can pull it up and you'll have Wi-Fi on the camper.
Ice cream truck's out there.
Yeah, he couldn't be here when it was blistering hot. They want to come whenever it's chilly. I'd have paid him $7 for a snow cone about a day or two ago, and now he's out here whenever it's nippy. All right, if you want to, you can go ahead and be filling this out. I'm gonna go get my impact, take that loose, and start siliconing it, and then I'll come in here, put that silicone back there, and then we'll